Conversations with Frank Jordan and the Earth Mind Think Tank Group. We welcome all listeners and chatters. Any questions can be called in to 1-775-657-5973. 1-775-657-5973. If you're in the chat room on Wolf Spirit Radio, which is wolfspiritradio.com/wolfchat, please post questions in uppercase letters, in capital letters. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is Susan, and I am leading our Earth Mind Think Tank today because Frank is not available. He won't be available this weekend. When we work on our sessions today, we will send him love and peace and harmony to help him get through what he's going through. This is a wonderful Independence Day weekend, and I know everyone is celebrating how we're changing the world, how we're becoming more sovereign, that we're becoming free on so many different levels. And that's what we need to be thinking about this weekend, is the wonderful change that we're going through and how the world is changing, and everything and everyone is going to be free to be who they are and to live in peace and harmony. That's one of the reasons why this country was founded, to live in peace and harmony without oppression, so of any kind. So we are going to work on our Earth Mind today with the energy and help out our world today. Dave, did you want to, our files are in a different, they are changed now, aren't they? Well, whatever.
Files are underneath Frank.
So if you're looking for, I guess, for the Earth Mind Think Tank group, they're going to be in two different files. I think there is Earth Mind Think Tank and Meditations.
Healing and Meditations.
Yes.
And
so we're there. So Dave did some rearranging to make it a little easier for him and for everyone else. So we will start out today, and get yourself with your crystals, with your lights, however it is that you feel the most comfortable, and have all your help to potentiate what we're going to be doing today. Now we reach in through our third eye. We go back. And we reach back to our soul center there. And while we're there, we're going to put in the intent that what we do today, what we learn today, will be remembered. Now we'll go down through our throat chakra. Clearing to the right, clearing to the left. This is where we feel inhibited, what we're saying, what we're doing. We're going to be clearing out and speaking the truth. Not afraid to show our opinions, to say our opinions. Now we'll go down to our heart chakra. We'll clear to the right. We'll clear to the left. And as we clear, we feel the love that surrounds us, that is here in this group. and it gives us joy. Now we move down to our solar plexus. We clear to the right. We clear to the left. As we're clearing, we feel all the gut feelings, the worry, the self-doubt. We see it being cleared. We take a big deep breath, breathing in and breathing out, and feel that being cleared. We move down now to the sacrum. We clear to the right. We clear to the left. Now we move down through our root chakra. This is our most primitive chakra, our survival, that holds all of our fears, all of the walls we put up to protect ourselves. We clear to the right, and we clear to the left. And we clear. Now being cleared, we go down into earth mind. We see ourselves being connected to Mother Gaia. And we send that energy out. Reaching around the world. And we thank Mother Gaia for allowing us to do this in peace and harmony and love. That is the energy we send out. That is the energy we receive in. Now we go back up. Up our spine. Up through our head. Our crown chakra. Seeing all of our chakras united in a wonderful ball of light, of all the different colors and all the different energies. And we extend that out to the top of our head. And we see that transmuting into clear crystal light. Like a star shooting up. We see the galactics, and once again we join with them, taking their love, taking their energy, as they give it freely to help us with our work on this wonderful, glorious earth we live on. Now we come back down, feeling ourselves being full of energy and love and light and joy. Now we go now to our ring of fire. We start in Southern California. We create our vortexes. We start in Southern California. Seeing our vortex. This is along the Southern California coast. And that energy reaches up to our golden shield. We move up further. San Francisco. Northern California. Southern Oregon, excuse me. See that energy being moved up. Northern Oregon. Now we go into Washington. The ancient volcanoes there, we see the energy being risen up and go into our golden shield. We go over to the Yellowstone caldera. We see the energy being pulled up through the lava tubes, the geysers, reaching up through our golden shield. We move down to the fault lines that travel down through Idaho, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico. We see that energy being lifted up, going through our golden shield. We now go up to Alaska. We feel the energy, the rumbling, the unsettledness in the middle of Alaska, and we release that energy. Releasing, releasing. We go now across to the Antilles Islands, releasing the energy there. Releasing, releasing. We move over to Russia. We see the areas in eastern Russia that are unsettled. And we release the energy there. Releasing. Releasing. We move to China. In our mind's eye, we see the areas there. We touch on them. We create our vortexes. We all have the power to do this. We are in the right mindset. We have the power, we have the energy, we have the love. We go now to Japan. We release the energy there, reinforcing the work we've already done. We continue transmuting the radioactivity that continues to be released. We see the work we have done there, and we continue it. We move down now to Indonesia. We see the areas there. And we see our vortexes being formed and the energy being released. The energy going up to our golden shield. We go now to the Philippines. And we release the energy there. We create our vortexes. And see the energy going up to our golden shield. We move now to New Zealand. We release any energy of unsettled earth there. We release. We go to Australia and we release. We go now to South America, starting at the tip. We move up the Andes, creating our slow but sure vortexes, releasing the energy, going up and up. We go up through Chile, and we release the energy and the hot spots in Chile. And Peru and Ecuador. We move now to Central America. Calming any unsettled areas there. We go to Mexico. We see a few areas there, and we create our vortexes. We go to Costa Rica. And seeing our energy, the energy being released there. We go to Puerto Rico. with all the unsettled area, the land there, the earth, the crust. It contributes to all the hurricanes. So we release that energy so it does not contribute to the fierce energy of the hurricanes that form in that area. We turn our attention now over to Greece. All the old areas where there's been so much activity over the centuries. We release the energy, allowing it to come up. We go to Afghanistan. Creating our vortexes and seeing the energy being released. We go to Iraq, creating our vortexes and seeing the energy being released. We now move back and we visualize our ring of fire, our Pacific ring of fire that goes along the North and South American continent and along China and Russia. And we see all the templates, that move, the Earth's templates, the crust as they move. And we lubricate those, starting in the north. We send a liquid energy that coats those plates, coating them, allowing the plates to move smoothly underneath the North and South American templates. We see that molten energy flowing down, all the way down to the equator, down south. We do the same on the other plates. We see the lubrication coating the plates, allowing smooth slippage. We turn our attention to Hawaii, and we see the energy being released there also. Going up to our golden shield. Now we move up into the atmosphere. We are done with the crust. Wait a minute, before we do that, let us touch in and use the energy that we have received from the work that we have done, and we pull it from our golden shield. And we have that light energy, that love energy, come down in sparkles of white and gold and silver and go to the ocean, to the Pacific Ocean, and we see that energy going into the ocean, clearing it, purifying it, cleaning it of all the impurities that have been dumped in it. And we see it clearing. We see that energy nurturing everything that lives in that space. The animals, the plants. We see that from the North Pole to the South Pole. We see the water being transmuted. We go now over to the Atlantic, the Indian, and we see those waters also being transmuted. All the negativity that has been dumped in, we see it being cleared. We see it being transmuted into nutrients for the life that lives there. Now we go up and we're going to work on the weather. We go over to the Gulf of Mexico. We have had hurricanes originating there and the northern coast of America. We worked earlier this week to lessen the impact of the hurricanes. We do that again right now. Hurricanes are a natural force of the earth. At this time, we go down and we ask the winds and the waves to follow their natural course, to be born and to die in a natural way, but much less force. They do not need to cause destruction and harm. They can be more gentle. And we see this being done. And know that in the days to come, when hurricanes, when tornadoes, when they form, They will be formed in areas that do not cause destruction. And if they are near land or on land, we see that they will cause minimal damage to the land and to the people. All of us are connected. The wind, the water, the people. We can live in harmony without causing harm. And we see this being done. We take this time now to sustain this intent. We do not force the wind, we do not force the water. We ask it to temper itself. And we thank it for doing so. For we all live in dominion. And we release the fear. Release. And we see this being done. And so it is. Now we go over. Wait a minute, we'll let that sit for a minute. Now we'll go over to the United States. On the areas that have needed water. California, Nevada, Utah. We see clouds that form in the Pacific Ocean, in Canada. We see those moving over, going past the mountains, retaining their water until they get past the mountains, and releasing the water in the areas that need it. In California, Nevada, Utah. We see clouds being formed up in the northern hemisphere, moving down to the areas in Central America that need the water. We move over to Europe, and we ask the clouds and the winds to move over, to absorb the water and release it into the areas that need it. We do the same with Asia. Seeing the clouds form that retain the moisture and going and releasing it to the areas there. Now we come back and we change our focus now. We go up to our golden shield. And we use our energy, we gather our energy. And we unite in love, in joy, and in peace, in harmony, in dominion. And we send this energy now. We focus on the governments of the United States, the federal, the state governments, the county governments, all the governments that have been established in the United States, and we send to them forgiveness. We send them love. This weekend, the United States celebrated the birth of freedom. But the United States is not free. It is not living in dominion. We ask that those in power at this time release their fear, release their negativity, and think about living in dominion, in peace and harmony. We cannot force them to change. We can only ask them for their better good. We move down to Mexico. We touch into the governments there, asking them to release their domination, to release their control, allowing the people of the country to live in peace and harmony. We go now over to Europe. The countries over there have been held in dominion for so many centuries. We ask that the powers release and allow the people of their countries to live in peace and harmony and dominion. We do the same with England, the United Kingdom. We ask that the people be released, that they live in dominion. We go over to the Middle East. We send out an outpouring of love, and forgiveness. We send love to those that are living there, who all they want to do in their lives is have a family and live in peace. They don't want to fight. They want to live in dominion. And we ask those in power to put aside all their fears, all their hate, and allow love in, and forgiveness and peace. We can all live in harmony. There is abundance enough for everyone. We go to Russia, the Ukraine, all the areas, all the different countries that are so splintered there, each trying to find dominion, but using domination to get there. We ask that they put down their weapons and allow peace and love in, where we give them peace and love. We do this with China. We ask leaders to allow the populace to live in peace and harmony and abundance, to release their control. We go down to South America. We see those countries that have been liberated, but they are not free. We ask that the leaders of those countries look for the good of the people, not for what the people in the country can do for them. We send them love. We send them peace. We send them forgiveness. And we ask that they allow the people of their countries to live in harmony and peace and abundance. We go now to Africa. Africa, those countries have been subjugated by domination for so long. We ask that the leaders of these countries allow the people of their countries to live in peace and harmony, living out their days in love and peace and joy and abundance. We give them forgiveness, but most of all, we give them love. And we ask that they accept this and change their ways. Now take a minute and gather the energy from the golden shield and the power of this group and our own personal power, and send out to all the countries that we have just touched upon. We send the people of these countries love and hope. We send a wave of green light of healing. We see that being spread around the world. This wonderful green light spreading from the North Pole down, down, down and around the world. And we see it going down and spreading the equator down to the southern hemisphere. We pull the energy from the galactics and from Gaia. And we see the earth being enveloped in this golden mist of healing. We change that color now to pink. We send love. We send love all around. We start at the south at this time. Going up. Going up. Reaching to the hearts, to the souls of the people on earth, and the animals and the plants, giving them love, giving them hope, giving them peace, freeing them from the fear, freeing them from fear. And we see that pink going up, and it fills us also with love and joy and happiness and peace. And we send that on up to the equator, and on up. With the galactics, with each other. We are filled with love. We are filled with healing. This has touched everyone that is listening. This has gone out through the airwaves, through the computers. We are so powerful.
I think Susan got cut off.
Well, that's possible. I could maybe I'll let's all send out a big dose of loving energy to Frank as he works through his challenge. And we have some interesting astrological factors that are very timely with what we've been talking about. We have 3 major planets retrograde, being Pluto, Saturn, and Uranus. And actually the Plutonian influence is optimal for self-examination, introspection, and figuring out what things that we need to work on and free ourselves from. And it also ties into the financial situation. Maybe I'll just, I think we got a couple minutes left. I'll read a little bit of brief comment on this. The powers of regeneration are far greater when retrograde. People with a natal retrograde Pluto have tremendous ability to overcome major illnesses that might otherwise cause permanent disability. Remember, retrograde motion is always directed toward inner activity, such as the psyche or psychological patterns that affect the physical body.
I didn't know that before. That's pretty cool.
Direct motion, on the other hand, is directed toward external circumstances. Under any Pluto transit, we feel pressured to eliminate and release the old, outworn, outdated, and obsolete in our lives. When Pluto is transiting retrograde, we are urged to let go of attitudes, thinking or communication patterns, security drives, rigid emotions, a time to undergo an internal form of house cleaning. It is a good time to research into our own souls in order to determine exactly what we do or do not need. Because Pluto retrograde imparts an intense power for investigation, we should use this time to assess what reoccurring patterns in our lives make us feel out of control. Where and why do we continually give our power away, and under what circumstances do we react so defensively that we elicit attacks from others? Pluto retrograde marks a time wherein we should seek to gain greater control over our personal life. Pluto direct is better for gaining control over professional and financial areas. So that all seems very timely and ties into the themes we've been experiencing over the last few weeks. I think we're getting close to the end. I don't know if anybody else has any other comments or observations they'd like to make. We probably have 2 or 3 minutes left. Dave says 1 minute. So maybe that's a wrap, essentially.
I got to say one thing. Oh,
should we send a quick note to Frank?
Yeah.
Send a quick love to him?
Yeah, we sent that when you were off.
We did that, Susan.
On my Skype? Good.
What I was going to say was when we were doing we were sending the green energy from the North Pole to the South Pole, like spiraling around the emerald energy. Mm-hmm. When you all of a sudden you said, do it now, start at the South Pole and go the other way, and I couldn't do it. It kept falling back. It was like I'm brainwashed that North is up and South is down. I'll have to work on that.
Okay, I guess we're going to see you guys tomorrow night. Love
Alrighty,
to everyone. Thank
you guys want to meet afterwards? Just call this good.
Yes. No, let's call us.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dave.
Bye,
Thank you,
all.
Dave.
Thank you, Walter.
Bye-bye.
Bye.